Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
Corey and Brinky.
Corey and Frankie. We're back.
We're back. We're back, Jack.
That's right.
All right. This is take 2 or 3.
Couple takes, right?
Yep.
Dogs are gone.
It kind of lines up with some stuff I said in this earlier. So,
That's
anyways,
generally the way it goes.
thank you for listening and engaging with us as we finally launched the intro. We have all the editing tools and things, devices.
We got all the stuff.
All the devices are in.
Several podcasts in now. So,
But it's been fun and engaging, and it's been funny. So we're glad that it is being enjoyed because we feel kind of called and led to do this, and so it's nice when it's landing where you hoped it would land.
At least giving somebody some laughter.
Yep, I definitely think it is
bare minimum. Giving somebody something to laugh at, maybe relate to. Say, we're not the only ones dealing with this crazy.
They probably do that when they listen to you. They probably are. Maybe. I'm in a fun mood today. It should be fun. But let's hop in and start with what we're normally doing with our questions. But do you have an icebreaker? You can go first.
I do have an icebreaker.
Okay. Oh, lay it on me.
What is your favorite color and what does it taste like?
Okay. The favorite color, I was thinking, well, that's an easy one. Okay, my favorite color and what does it taste like?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite color is black, and it tastes like devil's food cake, chocolate, dark chocolate.
There you go. My favorite color is blue, and it tastes like blue raspberry.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
And you know what stimulated that question?
What?
How come purple tastes like grapes that are not purple?
Some grapes are purple.
Not most of them.
Oh, a lot of them. There's a whole section at the grocery store of purple grapes.
Okay.
So I knew you were going to say blue raspberry. That's not even a real fruit.
I didn't say what fruit does it taste like. I said, what does it taste like?
I know. I was just saying. Well, I should have said my other favorite color is red. And if I would have been on it and knew, I could have said it tastes like number 9. Red dye number 9. Okay.
She's on it today. I think she's on red dye number 9 the way she's acting today.
Maybe. I'm in a happy mood. Okay. So our questions that we've been doing is what are you drinking? What are you reading? What are you wearing? What are you watching? What are you drinking?
These days, I am drinking good old-fashioned water. Trying to do better. Add up my water intake.
Yeah. You do so much better at that than me.
Well, I like water, though.
I know, I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, I have to do something to it. Like, I have to add lemon or lime or carbonated.
It's not water, right?
Yeah, it is. It's still water. A joke
sugar-free lemonade.
Maybe a joke just flashed in my brain, and then my brain said, "Don't say that out loud." So I'm not, but it was real funny.
This is probably a good thing.
Probably. Okay, well.
What are you drinking?
Oh, I am still drinking my Blooms. That's what and I really like those. I only have 2 a week. Like I have one on Tuesday, one on Thursday, and I have them at my lunch. And I really like those.
She only drinks Blooms on days that start with T. Tuesday, Thursday, today, tomorrow.
No, I only have, that's why.
The day before.
I don't bring them home. Like I just left them there.
Hiding.
Yeah. And I just have one each each of those days, and
Frankie is
they're
a
good.
closet energy drink drinker.
Yep, they're good. I like them.
They're so bad for you.
Well, these are supposed to be healthy. Bloom. They're probably not, but oh well. I like them. That's what I'm drinking.
There you
All
go.
right, what are you reading?
Again, because I've already read it before,
Uh-huh.
I'm back on the Unreasonable Hospitality.
Oh, you're reading it again?
So if you know or if you've seen The Bear, that
Ooh, that's a good
popular
show.
cooking show on Hulu, Unreasonable Hospitality is the book that show was made after.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually more about Richie in the book
The
instead of Carm.
Carmy, yeah, he's the chef, which the show's kind of more around him, and says we don't give anything away in case somebody, if you haven't watched it, you should.
Yeah, it's excellent. It gets into mental health. It gets into
yeah, it
cooking.
covers a lot of stuff. But
it's a deep show.
But the book is more about, what would you call him? He was the
general manager.
General manager. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Okay, I didn't know you were reading that again.
Yep.
Well, I am almost done with Throne of Glass. And then I've been having to read some nonfiction stuff. I've been having to read like a lot of that. And so it's like mental health articles and stuff, actually.
Nonfiction means real, right?
Nonfiction means real. And it's actually all been really, really good. But my fiction series, like I'm on like the last book though.
Yeah. So we made
it's been good.
We made a goal this year, a family-wide goal to read a book a month.
At least one book a month. So you could get to the end of the year and have at least 12 books. Yeah. I am already done with the goal. And I mean, I'm continuing, but like, I know that I've already met the goal. Sophie's probably right at it. Lily's probably not far behind.
Well, I'm counting this, even though I've read it once this year. Well,
you're counting it twice?
I thought about it.
No, you have plenty of time. I think you're actually pretty ahead too.
I've read 9 books this year, so yeah. I'm not ahead. But just to touch back on that book,
well, we're only in the 9th month, so I mean, you're not.
I keep thinking we're already in October.
You're pretty well on track.
The film date's late September. I don't know when this is going to air, but film date's late September, FYI. But yeah, Unreasonable Hospitality is a great book.
Yeah.
It actually, when I read it the first time, I thought it was just going to be his story in the restaurant, and it is some of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets into, it's actually more about connection and building connection while being a leader.
Yeah.
So it's
nonfiction too.
It's not a self-help book.
Yeah.
But it's him telling his story, and Simon Sinek, which I'm a big fan of Simon Sinek, and his coaching mindsets and principles and things like that. Coached the author writing the book. And so it's
through
great.
The process, or he just process. Already? Oh, okay.
Yeah, through the process. And he may have already been coaching it, but I know it was through writing the book.
Sure.
But it talks about how they become the #1 restaurant in the world, and how they did it through connection with people.
Well, it's all about people.
Yeah. It's not about the food when you own a restaurant. I mean, food's a big part of it, but his principle is people won't remember your food, but they will remember how you made them feel.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this a lot. Sometimes it is it's always about the people and the experience, because even times when we've had like either went somewhere and ate it, or we fixed it and it was just like, not very fancy, or it was just, you didn't realize people were coming over and you just scraped something together. But sometimes those turn out to be, it's like, this was the best dinner. And even though you label it that way, the dinner, it was actually not really much about the food. You can make crappy food be good if you have good company and, a good experience and the people. It can just be mid food.
Yeah.
But the overall experience is. But now you have a bad people experience, and it, makes the food bad, I think.
Yeah. Now, I think this restaurant did not have bad food.
No, I think they probably had very good food. I think it was
exceptional.
Yeah.
Even one of the stores is kind of insane, but I'm not going to ruin that.
Yep.
So,
all right. What are you wearing?
So I'm not wearing them right now.
I'm surprised you're not.
man, I've got me. I was not a Tecovas fan. Um, I'm not real sure why,
Uh, I
but
don't know. You just didn't have any.
no, but I got a pair of the Docs, and
Mm-hmm.
they are like my tennis shoes.
Yeah, I almost got you a pair for Christmas that were the shorter ones, but then I ended up getting you the Thursday boots that were the shorter ones for your
Yeah.
travel. Well, that's why you weren't, because you said sometimes you didn't like the hassle of the cowboy boot, like up under your jeans.
Mm-hmm.
So all the like work boots you did, but then for travel and flying and like nicer ones, and you're like, I don't want to spend the
Well,
money
and
on
they're
that.
hard to pack, and
Yeah,
depending on, I mean, of course, I
yeah.
travel all the time, but even doing pre-check,
Most of the time you don't
good
have to,
boots
but
usually
yeah,
have a steel shank,
yeah,
and you end up having to take them off because they detect the metal in your shoe, and they're
yeah.
like, here, just run them through the scanner, and I'm not supposed to have to take my shoes off for pre-check. That's why I got it.
That's why I did this.
Now no one has to take their shoes off
Yeah.
anymore, unless it has steel
Yeah.
shank.
But anyways, you ordered Tecovas
Yep,
and they are
amazing.
your new favorite shoe.
Mhm.
You now have talked about that evidently all the Tecova stores have a stamp
Yes,
that's unique and you're like, oh, I need to get it stamped.
I'm gonna get it stamped. I can get 3 stamps in the Nashville area.
Yeah, for all their different
Mhm.
locations. That's funny. But they do look nice. You can dress them up, dress them down. If you've seen Corey lately, they've probably been on his feet.
Yep.
So,
I was nervous too because playing drums at church.
but
was
you
like,
said they're the best.
yeah, they're my new drum shoes too.
Cowboy boots should be what you're wearing because you got another new pair too that I got you.
Mhm.
Which they have a different type of
They
sole.
have a rubber sole or like a
They're like it's I don't even know, like a gum
the Tecovas
almost.
have
But yeah.
a true leather sole, and
Mhm.
you can feel, and it's
Yeah.
amazing.
So, well, I have been wearing a new perfume that we
We've got
really
an
like.
assortment.
Yeah, I've been trying to do better. I don't know, like and because I'll travel with you summer, do stuff, then take the mini sizes. And I got they had a deal on it. I guess it's called Fleur. I don't know. It's PHLUR. But the specific perfume is called Missing Person. I mean, it smells, it's the one you liked. It smells
She's watching
so
Crime
good.
Scene Junkie.
No. I need to look up. I'll look it up in a minute.
Her pheromones are missing person.
Uh,
If I go missing, y'all know where to look.
It just
Start here.
It smells so good. You said it smelled good too.
I think it does.
I didn't. That's funny. I didn't realize you didn't know the name.
I did not know that.
What was really funny, because I'm gonna order a bigger bottle of it because it's good, and it says this is
So just so everybody knows, while she's looking for this, Frankie, no, we're not ordering a bigger bottle.
I probably already ordered it.
Yep. So I just want y'all to. I wanted this to be evidence.
This is what it says about it. If nude were a perfume, this is it.
Well, it's a terrible name though, but the description, like I would buy you a gallon.
A delicate yet addictive fragrance that evokes the lingering scent of your lover's skin.
Do you know what I'm talking about if I say the car wash, like when you come out of some of the plants and stuff, it's just the little sprayer that goes around and like you drive dump trucks through it. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay.
Well, let me think back to the last time I drove a dump truck.
Well, it's not just a dump truck. Like when we were on the job site at TVA back when I did construction.
Let me think back when I was on job site at TVA. Never.
Well, so some places they just have this little. It's like a pipe that goes over and it just you drive through it and it just blows water out.
Can we have one in our driveway?
No, it's just for dust and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm gonna get you one of those set up.
With this scent?
Yes, when you walk out of the bedroom, it just missed you.
It's in my lover's skin.
Because it's nude.
Yeah. I thought that description was funny.
Mm-hmm. It's my favorite outfit you got.
Made by God. That's what you said the other night.
Made by God.
So,
no offense, Katie Joe, but God did my face. My face was so good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What are you watching?
So we didn't have a show
No.
And it's really hard for me to watch a show with Frankie because we are so busy that it is rare that we sit down at the same time and just sit on the couch and
Like
watch.
we watch TV, but not really.
It
Like
took
it's
us a year and a half to binge Game of Thrones.
I know.
And we're talking binge watch, which
Yeah,
for
we
us
tried.
means we've caught 2 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
And then we got up and we did something.
Yes. Like we do watch TV, but it's like real weird times.
Yeah.
And
So, like,
hard to be together. So you're right.
it's tough for me because
Well, so what are you watching then?
we're watching Tulsa King together. I've already seen Tulsa King, so
Yeah.
I can sit back and watch it. Or it's better, it's almost like a book when it comes to a TV show with us. Let's just watch it kind of at the same time and we'll talk about it when we're done.
Yes. Yes. We learned that early on in marriage. Like we wanted to watch it, and then it was just like we just
It started with
quit
Sons of
deni-
Anarchy.
Yeah, a long time ago.
When
Yeah, and then we watched it together, and we were like 2 episodes in, and Corey was like, "This is dumb. This is not real life. I don't want to watch this crap. I'm not watching this anymore." I was like, "Okay, well, I think I'm gonna." He was like, "Well, that's fine. I'm not gonna watch it." So then he walked in.
like
I don't know.
3 seasons in.
Yeah, I was, a week or two later, and I was watching, and he was like, "What? What are you watching? This looks good. What show's this? It kind of looks like Sons of Anarchy." I'm like, "Well, because it is. It got good after you quit." And he was like, "Well, I can't believe you watched it." I'm like, "You told me you didn't want to."
Hey,
So
we got to stay on track. What are you watching?
yeah. Well, we're probably late to the game on this, as per usual, but I finally sat down, and me and the girls actually have watched this while you've traveled some at dinner, and they're like 20 minutes long. Leanne on Netflix.
It's my mom's favorite comedian.
Her and Sophie went and watched it. Somebody couldn't go, so Sophie got the ticket. It is so funny. Like it's very
It's a New Day Reba.
New Day Reba, but like funny, and where some of Reba could have been a little funnier, not so. Back when Reba came out, divorce was almost still taboo to talk about, and so Reba, paved a way, and so, but now the Leanne, so then it has been so funny, but we've done, like we'll do no phones, and we'll watch that, and like we've worked a puzzle or play a game while we're watching it, but it's been really funny. So I'm sure it's been out now for a little while, and so I'm sure everybody's already watched it, but if you haven't, it'll just make you laugh. So, but okay. So I think we're ready to jump in.
Let's go.
So I was very excited about this episode because I don't remember when I wrote out this for our script, but I was so excited and I told you about it. And we almost had a whole podcast in the living room.
Yeah, and as we're talking about that, we really should just keep a mic on us because sometimes a car ride can turn into an episode.
Yeah, we might have to film some in the car.
I don't know.
We won't have all your get up. We won't have all this stuff. But our topic today is measuring sticks. So, measuring sticks can mean a lot of things.
I got beat with one as a child. Just kidding.
You did not.
Or am I?
You didn't. So, measuring sticks, and then, we're in a house of, your work. You use measuring tapes with your, not as much maybe on the corporate side, but like when you were out working, and then in our side business.
Work.
Do you? Do you? But y'all are measuring stuff. You're measuring wood all the time, But what do we use? How do we create the measuring sticks of our life? Because in society, we are always measuring ourselves, comparison, but sometimes you're just measuring, maybe you're not per se comparing yourself to others, but you're just measuring, from last year to this year. Did we grow any? Or maybe you're not measuring anything. So I wanted to talk about measuring sticks and When's the last time you even took account of, I know when we talked about this before, when I wrote it out initially, then you were like, hmm,
Yeah, I've thought about this quite a
like,
bit actually since.
um, it just hit. I think sometimes maybe I would like to think that a lot of us have probably taken stock of our measuring sticks more than we realized, maybe, but maybe we didn't put it all together. So it said, I was like, have you measured your measuring stick lately? Have you even noticed what you're measuring and why? Has your measuring stick grown or changed with you, your family, your season, or are you using tools to measure that don't even apply to you anymore? And if so, how did you create your measuring stick? How do you measure your measuring stick? How do you know what ruler or tape measure do you use for that? And then what all are they? It's like we have different ones for marriage, family, personal identity, society, work fulfillment, friends, God, pleasure. Like, how do how did we define our measuring sticks? And I think a lot of times we I know for me personally, I've had this conversation with you a lot. Then we got married so young, but we had dreams and aspirations. And we've talked a lot about that. We, in the moment, sometimes we don't realize it. But you've been good usually to help me when I'm kind of spinning out, to take stock of, slow down, look at where we are, like you have accomplished goals, because we can get caught up in thinking we haven't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy for us to do that within ourselves, but to somebody from the outside looking in. So we talked about, I knew I wanted to be a mom. Like I wanted to be a mom. We wanted to be married. Well, we wanted to be married in that order. Be married. We wanted to be a mom. We did both want to finish school, and we've done that. We wanted,
I mean,
you to
have
get a
we?
job. Yeah.
I mean, we have finished one part.
Yeah. But like, I wanted to finish my degree. You had gotten a job at the railroad. And so like we felt fulfilled kind of in that area. Um, but we didn't own our own house at the time. And we wanted to do that. And so we probably about, I don't know, I was turning 30. You were,
31.
no, but you were mid 30s. And when we finally, for I think the first time, took stock of, and I think it's kind of also when you turn 30, because you finally have enough years experience that you're able to really reflectively look back. When you're 22, you can, because you've bumped into adulthood, but like you're still too close.
Yep.
But when you finally turn 30, you got a little distance there to where it's like, okay, out of high school, should be out of college by that point, or you've picked a lane and you can really be reflectively back. So I remember the first time we really truly took stock of like, okay, I think we've actually come further than we thought, because at that point we had bought our first house.
Mm-hmm.
We had good jobs. We both were working. We had kids. Like our life was going good. We had, different life things. But that was when I just remember the first time of kind of doing that. And then we fast tracked, and I feel like the kids are middle school and going, and it was like, not that we didn't take stock of it again, but I think we kind of didn't. Life was just going and we were busy. And I'm not calling us out in that we did anything wrong, but I think a few things that we were holding on to, that we were using to measure our life, weren't applicable anymore. We had kind of already fulfilled all of those, but then we didn't change our measuring stick. We were still measuring it off of the old measuring stick that was like, I want to have a family and be settled and have a house. And it was like we had accomplished all of our goals and dreams, which is a wonderful thing. But if you don't create a new measuring stick, well, then you kind of don't create any new dreams. Or if you do, but you're measuring them off the old measuring stick, you're not ever going to be able to be fulfilled by them because they don't line up anymore.
Yeah. And as a bit, I'm going to say a business person, but with my background and what I went to school for, I think of goals
Yeah.
when I look at measuring stick. And one of the ways that you stay on track or measure success with a goal is to create what we call SMART goals. And basically, you have to define your goal, what your
Mm-hmm.
big goal is,
Mm-hmm.
and then you make achievable goals along the way so you can see a process.
Mm-hmm.
And those small processes or checkpoints keep you on track to get to that big goal.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard. You can say, hey, I
Yeah.
just got out of college and I just got married and we just bought a house and I want to be debt free. Well, houses these days are $300,000
Yeah.
and up.
Sometimes it's going to take you some time
Yeah,
to
right.
get there.
And so it can feel daunting.
Mm-hmm.
It can be like, I'm never going to get out of
Yeah.
debt. I've got I've
Yeah.
got student loan, all that stuff, right? And if you don't figure out a way to make them achievable,
Yeah. Well, you
then
just
you won't
feel,
get there.
well, and that's what leads to burnout because
It
you
leads
just feel
to
like,
it leads to burnout, and it also leads to, in my opinion, when you mention comparison, we see things on social media and we see things and we see the highlight reel of someone
mm-hmm.
else's life.
Yeah.
And you'll see a post of got my car paid off or, got my house paid off. And I'm like, I'm nowhere near my house being paid off. Right. And so it kills the joy of the things that you've actually done
Mm-hmm.
and the steps. And you've met your goals, but all of a sudden you feel less than
Mm-hmm.
because you haven't
Yeah.
attained their
Well,
goals.
even the ones of like, even if it's not paid for post, but it's just
Mhm.
like, they may have worked hard and put a big down payment down. Maybe they didn't, but irregardless, it's just being able to be happy for somebody for something you want that you haven't got there yet.
That's right.
So those are definitely in marriage and stuff. But I even feel like, especially for us for parenting, we talked about this one big that it was like, I have been known to be called a helicopter parent. I don't think I truly am a helicopter parent. I let them go and do a lot of stuff now, but it's taken a lot of work for me now to get there. And I think it was because I didn't realize I was still measuring them. Even we have good girls, but I was measuring them off of the measuring stick that I created when they were 5
Yeah.
and first started school. And I wasn't even letting them have, like they had opportunities, but they didn't have opportunities to go
Mhm.
and or to do something or to do it all the way on their own. And it was like I didn't realize that I was still measuring them truly all the way off of that. And it's like, well, seasons change. And I think it's just, we know that. We say that in our language. But it's like making sure that ever so often, and you don't have to do it all the time, and your core component shouldn't be changing. Like if your faith, is God in there. Our family is big on self-awareness and being present in the moment and showing up, and everybody's your recipe is kind of going to be to your taste, but the base recipe shouldn't per se change, but your outcome on like, I want this to be, I'm using like a recipe analogy. Like this one needs to be more spicy. This, I'm measuring for that over here. This recipe, I'm measuring for how it looks, not so much taste and all the different stuff. So it's like ever so often we have to make sure that we're not just using an old measuring stick.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just learning to become intentional with self-reflection ultimately at the end of the day. So, but I know for kids, that's a big thing. And as we are approaching, we're about to launch one in May. Like,
Nope.
I'm not all the way, but it's coming. And I think that was what hit me the biggest was just, you know, l- making sure that she has had opportunities to try out her tools because we have been very intentional about putting tools in their toolbox to use, but then we never give them the opportunity to use them,
That's true.
you know, and then,
We want to make decisions for them.
but we test them and then it's like, and then they don't do good. And it's like, we're like, well, how do you not know how to do this?
We have a prime example of this. So the other day, and when I say the other day, it could be yesterday, it could be 6 months ago.
Uh-huh.
The other day, we took your brother a different couch.
Yes.
And he was giving his couch to someone else that said they were going to come pick it up that night.
Mm-hmm.
And Frankie is notorious for wanting it done now. Patience is not the virtue that she was blessed with initially.
No.
She's learned patience.
I'm getting better.
Ish over the years.
Yeah.
And that couch was heavy. It was so heavy.
It was heavy.
He got it from my parents, and
yeah,
it had dual recliners in it, and I had picked that couch up so many times and never wanted to touch it again.
Yeah.
And
but then they got a different one.
Yeah,
actually.
they got a different one. So Jack,
they wanted him to bless somebody else.
Yeah, so pay it
he
forward.
Did.
But the thing to that is we got
that part was all done.
We got it dropped off.
Yeah.
And now the old couch was still there because they hadn't come picked it up yet.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to go.
Yeah, he is like me in that.
And I was not touching that couch. And Frankie's like, well, we can take it to where you're going and we can drop it off.
He doesn't have a truck.
And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, well, we could take it to Goodwill. I was like, no. And we got back in the truck and I said, Frankie.
But the Habitat for Restore that.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
I said, Frankie, your brother's a smart kid. He's got 2 couches, 2 really nice couches. If he wants that couch gone,
yeah,
he'll figure out how to get rid of it. We don't have to do everything for him.
When he wasn't asking us to, in his defense.
But those situations.
Not, like, that's how I want to show them.
Yeah.
And I do the same for the girls. That's how I want to show them that I love them. I have a truck. We have a trailer. We can do, and so I wanted to just do it for them.
And just make it done.
And just make it done better. And make it better. And that's me loving them.
But it doesn't prepare them for any decisions.
But it doesn't help them, for him to have to and do that. And that, like I said, and the girls are kind of the same way. They don't ask us to do half the things.
No.
It doesn't surprise them. Like
if a girl, the way our house is set up is the office is right beside the girls' room.
Yeah.
If they walk out of the room that they've been locked up in, and they're like, "Where's Mom?" I'm not telling them. I don't care if I know exactly where you're at. Like, go find her. Go do your work. You're going to have to do part of this.
Yeah.
And so
we've been having a lot of conversations just between the two of us of just making sure that it's been us measuring our measuring stick.
Right.
And they haven't done anything wrong. We haven't done anything wrong, but just being better.
Right.
And using the tools that we have and letting them use the tools that they have. And it's a Pat Summitt quote.
Yeah.
And she was talking about, I guess, with her son, I keep smacking that cord.
Leave the cord alone.
That, he was the driver. Like their metaphor was a car. And it was like, you are the driver. I am the navigator.
Yep.
I will help you go wherever you want to go. And I will help you with directions and tell you how to get there and sit right here beside you and help navigate you. But I will not drive you.
Right.
You are the driver.
The navigation gives you suggestions.
Yep.
It tells you to turn left. If you make a wrong turn, it will help you reroute.
Redirect.
It does not drive the car.
Yeah.
It does not pick the location it wants you to go. You have to do those steps. Yeah. And so that was really impactful for me too. And I said, I'm a navigator.
And we learned that in therapy about ourselves was that that was a big one that you and I had, that we can share was that you, in showing me you loved me, would almost make decisions for me, sort of, so
Yeah.
that I didn't have to
Well,
on certain things.
I tried to conquer your goals for you.
Yeah.
Frankie would be like, and it could be something extravagant.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want this. And I thought as a provider,
Yeah.
I was supposed to provide that. When all it really was Frankie made a goal to set for herself so she could save and work towards this goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then Christmas or a birthday or just a random I love you present, I would come home with it. And of course she was happy.
Yeah.
But it took her.
But it also was creating that I didn't feel like I had a sense of fulfillment of anything. And then when you didn't do it, then I'm like, well, where, on little things that I did want you to do, then, our measuring stick was wrong.
Yep.
You were measuring it off of something different.
And then, of course, I'm upset because you're upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I play back the reel of, well, I've done this, and I've done this, and I've done this.
Yeah.
And I missed this one thing. Right?
And it's like, that was the one thing I asked for. All these were not things. They were things you chose to take on. So, yeah, that's marriage and parenting on that. And we've kind of talked about job stuff. But, what about even with friends?
Yeah.
As we grow and evolve and change, and we've talked about this on the other podcast too, that was the whole creation of this, was because sometimes, we love the Lord. We, that is a very high value and priority in our life. However, that is ours individually, our personal relationship. And yes, we love our church and want to go to church, but church does not come before our family, and it doesn't come before God. And sometimes, that's not going to. That was the whole start of this podcast, was because we talked about it. Maybe if somebody's driving or traveling and they can listen to this and talk about an important topic because you're not at church, which is okay.
Right.
Because, we figured out that our relationship with God is just that. It's our relationship with God. It's not the church's. And it's, is church a good thing? Yes. 1,000,000% it is. But it's God, family, and then church. And sometimes people get, and we even have been those people for us, or that's the way we view it. Sometimes church gets before family, and that's not how it should be.
Mm.
Now, I'm not saying that if you are a pastor, or if you have some role, then that's your job.
I'm saying
sometimes, well, I guess I'm just trying to say everybody can define that differently, and where their boundary lines lie within that.
Within this house.
Within this house, then that's how it is. But, that was a big thing for us, was having the autonomy to claim back that my relationship with God, even though church is a wonderful, wonderful thing and puts you in fellowship with all of the believers, and it is of high value, very much so, because you can't do it alone all the way.
Right.
And the Bible talks about over and over that the first church they were very communal. And so this is not at all I'm not going to church, but we're not saying that.
Yep.
But it is just, you have to figure out your relationship with God. And it also can't be contingent upon the other person. My relationship with God can't be contingent upon if you're going to go to church or not, or if you're going to lead a Bible study for us, or if you're my relationship with God is just that it's mine.
Right.
You were listening to or watching while we were painting the Theo Vaughn with Kat Von D.
Yeah, with Kat Von D.
And that's what just popped in my mind, was she was talking about that. Even
I'm going to say newly saved, but
Well, she
within the
said,
last couple
well,
years she
she
got
said,
baptized.
yes, because she said she grew up in church
I believe her dad was a pastor,
or
maybe.
something, but it was all of kind of the cliche reasons of why people go away from the church.
Mm-hmm.
And just like this, the measuring stick was not right.
He did everything for everybody else,
Yeah.
but wasn't home for his family.
Yeah, it
And
was very
sometimes
cold and distant. Well, it's the
that's
measuring
tough,
stick.
right?
That's the measuring stick. And so that measuring stick she applied to everything else
Mm-hmm.
instead of creating her own. But now
That's
she
where
kind
she
of
put
sounds like
Jesus.
she White Cloak Jesus was very present there, and she felt like that was a hypocritical measuring stick. And
Now we are a couple podcast in, so
yeah,
but we need to define White Cloak Jesus for the.
well, I've defined it before again, but I'll define it again. White Cloak Jesus is what I refer to in. It can be from churches, sadly, or just people, or even our own self, of that we put Jesus in this, the stereotypical imagery that we have of white Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
very porcelain skin, but he is in like a white cloak or the choir or choir gown,
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
He's not blonde hair, but he's very clean,
Yes.
literally.
Yes.
And it makes you feel like where you are in sin or just in self shame,
Yeah.
guilt, all those things that you can't touch him, that he can't help you because you will get him dirty.
That's right.
And that, once you clean yourself up.
Except for the people that touched him were fully healed.
Yeah. And not clean.
Yeah.
They were dirty. And Jesus was, anyways.
There's multiple
he's not that
stories in
way.
the Bible that Jesus healed people, but the people that actually touched him were completely healed.
They were. And that's not the Jesus that I follow, is the one that's like,
Yeah.
I can't touch you until. No, he's coming right wherever you are. Pit of mud, pit of vipers,
Mm-hmm.
the kitchen table, the beach, the patio, the wherever.
Right.
And he's meeting you right there. If it's raining, if it's, you're just, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're waking up off a bender
Yeah.
and you reek of tequila, he's not scared to walk in and be right there with you.
Yep.
That doesn't scare him away. We put that when people kind of engage, or you see people that kind of make it White Cloak Jesus, that has really put him in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we do that to ourselves. We create White Cloak Jesus sometimes. So, but anyways, what she was saying with that and with the measuring stick, she was talking about people who, I guess, are kind of questioning her faith or questioning
the church that let her come.
The church that let her come, because she's still all tatted up and did, all the stuff. And she's just like, they can say what they want to. Like, my relationship between God and myself, Jesus and myself, is just that. It's mine. Yep. And it makes me think of something I tell the girls all the time too, that other people's opinion of you is none of your business.
That's right.
And so I think that on the measuring stick, for me, I know personally, when I was reading, I turned 30. We were going through just all different kinds of stuff. You got a job promotion that we could have moved. And at the time, I was just like, I need to be here with which it all worked out. And, and I did lose my mom, and I'm very glad I was here. But, we wanted to say like, oh, and my grandmother as well, and I've since lost her. But at the time, I was using those as excuses because I was scared. We've talked about that, and you were scared too, because it was like, we don't know. But I was the one that was scared to leave. And I just, remember, because I was measuring off that old measuring stick that was like, well, no, you said you wanted to have a family and you wanted to have stable jobs and you wanted to be here. And it was, being comfortable. I had outgrown that measuring stick. It could not measure me any further. So instead of creating a new one And it's like, I don't have to erase all this one, but instead of it measuring 10 years, I need it to measure 20.
Right.
Or, then instead of doing that, I would just reverted back to the beginning and was like, well, I guess we'll just start over in this again. But and just like her part, that reminded me of that. And it's like other people's opinion of your relationship with Jesus or what they think you're doing. Now, if you're going out blatantly doing some bad stuff, well, then that might make them question it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I believe if you truly have God in your heart and He's doing something, you're not going to be doing some of that stuff anyways.
And it's funny that you say that. And when we talk about measuring sticks, and that could be, you have measuring sticks on how you see other people too, right?
Yeah.
And we'll call it judgment, if you will.
Judgment, comparison.
So my goal in church, or my goal not in church, that's wrong. My goal
witnessing
as a Christian,
okay,
is to never push anybody away.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a drunk. I don't care if you're a dopehead. I don't care. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care any of that. Like, I'm not going to push you away from Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I will also say that there are things biblically that are labeled as a sin, but the thing that I say about that is I'm sinning every day. I'm not putting my sin less than your sin because of. So I don't want to be the reason you don't come to church.
Yeah.
I don't want my actions
I want my actions to be what leads you to think that you can come to church.
That's right.
Or that you can
seek
a relationship with Jesus.
Maybe this is a little bit different.
Like maybe this is a little bit more real. Maybe I actually can. And sometimes, sometimes people don't initially want to go to church when they're new. Sometimes they do and they jump right in. Sometimes they don't necessarily.
Yeah.
And it's getting that confidence in your walk and your journey with the Lord.
Well, and honestly, sometimes it's because somebody's made an example that has pushed you away.
Sometimes there's a wrong measuring stick.
And now I will tell you, everybody in the church is a hypocrite. We're all trying to do better.
Yeah.
But we all fall short of God's glory every day.
That's true.
So that's just the way I look at that.
Well, that was
if you don't mind,
you're good.
Like when I think about measuring sticks and where I was really going with that is we were selling a grill on Facebook Marketplace.
Yes.
And if you're watching the video, or if
I was not,
or if you know
tatted
me,
at that point.
if you know me,
Corey, what?
I have a full sleeve, and I have several on my other arm. We're working on that next sleeve, and there's going to be even more to come off of that. But I come home from work one day, and like we live in a nice community.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a polo shirt tucked into my blue jeans.
Yes, he's looking like a dad.
And I had
your tennis shoes on.
I had come home and taken off my work boots because I was local manager at the time.
Yeah.
And so
I just slipped your dad tennis shoes on.
I just slipped my dad tennis shoes on because the lady had messaged
New
me.
Balance.
She's like, "Hey, I'm going to be there." So some of the old New Balances that I mow the yard in, I'd slipped them on. And I think I maybe I went and got the trash cans or I got the mail or something. And she pulled in behind me as I was walking down the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And it dawned on her. And she was from South Nashville. And it hit her that she come to buy a grill for her husband as a surprise.
For like Father's Day. This was probably late May, early June. It was nearish Father's Day, I want to say.
But
so she was buying him a project.
Yeah, because the pellet grill didn't work. It was like $50. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I think the auger motor's bad. Like I fixed
everything
it 2 or 3
else,
times. But like you can buy this part for
Come to find out.
Well, she didn't tell anybody that she had gone to get it. And
because it was going to be a surprise.
And she had came, and we live in a little town in Tennessee. And if you come a certain way, you don't go through town. She came up 13. Went through the court square and come up 13 and come to our house. Yeah. And she never passed a gas station.
Yeah.
And so she was almost out of gas and it hit her. She is pulled up with this guy with tattoos all over his arms. Don't forget about the dad tennis shoes and the
Yeah.
polo. Um, and Frankie just happens to pull up.
Y'all had already been chatting for a few
We
minutes.
talked for a few minutes. I said, I'm going to open the garage and pull the grill. I'll bring it out here to you. And she came to get the grill in a small SUV.
Yes.
You know, so we're going to have to lay
A small, nice SUV.
Yeah, it was like a Lexus. Like
Yeah.
we're going to have to lay said old used grill
Greasy.
down
Yeah.
in the back seat of
She didn't bring anything with her.
Yeah, didn't bring anything with her. And she looks at Frankie. She said,
I have to pull up finally.
Yeah, Frankie pulls up.
And I guess
up,
I was like a savior.
And she said, Are y'all kind of Christian?
Yeah.
And Frankie said, No, we're not kind of Christian. We're all the way Christian.
We're all the way Christian.
Well, she said, Well, I'm just going to be honest. Like, I noticed he had tattoos.
And I just wasn't sure.
And she's like, and I just wasn't sure. She said, but I noticed he had one tattoo that had faith on his arm. And so I have an ambergram tattoo that if you turn it one direction, it says Grace.
It's the girl's middle names.
It's the girl's middle names. And if you turn it the other way, you see Faith. But if I'm walking, most people only see that it says Faith.
Well, but yeah.
And so she's like, are you kind of Christians?
Yeah, that has stuck with us. Come to find out, in talking to her about church, she
had been praying for
a girl to find, like, she looked up on her Facebook, and, you know, I guess you can, it's like people you may know or circles. And she was like, well, I noticed we had one mutual friend. We had one mutual friend. How do you know this said person? And we were like, I said, well, that's my cousin. What's my cousin's wife? But she's my cousin too. And she was like, really? I said, yeah. And she said, well, I knew that girl when she was a college student and she was in Nashville and she was praying to meet a husband. And then she said, is he a good man? And I'm like, yeah, he's an amazing man. And so, like, 6 degrees of separation, like, it was crazy, you know, we knew. And so that was kind of a cool story from it too. But I was just like, she was like, are y'all kind of Christian?
Yeah. And so if you've ever, I'll never tell this story and I'm not going to tell it now, but if you ask me about my sleeve, it's very intentional.
Yeah. You did it intentionally so that people would ask. As you feel very passionate about that. And that's a measuring stick for you for witnessing.
Yep.
And you were very intentional about that, and you have. So, but, you know, before, up to then, how many years did you talk about that you were like, I want a full sleeve tattoo so bad, but I can't get one? If I join corporate America, like, you can't have tattoos. You can't have. And so it just goes back again to the measuring sticks. And society is kind of opening up a lot of doors, but a lot of them you don't realize they're open until you try and you do it for yourself. And so it goes back to, you created a new measuring stick for yourself that was like, this is okay because it's okay with me, and it's okay with you, and we can tell our kids what to do. Yep. And so, you know, but like, and you recreated it, and then now you've never had a lick of trouble.
No,
because of that.
I'm very
like, you try to be respectful
if I go places, and I think
in certain places.
Well,
but
and I keep them covered up in some situations, but in some I don't.
But because you rewrote your measuring stick, it let me rewrite my measuring stick as well. And I since have gotten tattoos that are now visible.
Let several guys that I work with, they're like,
yeah,
I've been wanting one forever.
And it's so, like, and mine is the same. I have the elephant, which is the Jen Hatmaker elephant story that I've been able to share and witness as well as
I don't know how many times
people have asked me about it.
How long have you had that? 6 months?
No, I think I've had it a year.
Maybe.
Or over a year now. And one of my best friends, we were all going to get one.
I'm actually a little jealous.
And she has.
Because I've been planning mine for about 6 years. Yeah. Took me forever to find the artist that I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
He's the only person
phenomenal.
That's touched my right arm. And only half the people in the time that I've had mine in like 7 years have asked me.
But I get asked a lot, and she has one too, so we get to share. And that just, I don't know, it's like a bonded thing, but it but rewriting, but we did not allow ourselves to do that initially.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess this whole podcast though was about, seasons and just being intentional. I guess that's the message today. It's like, just have the conversation.
Yep.
We're not telling you how to make your measuring stick. I don't know what your life is, but have the conversation with somebody who does. I just hope that this stimulates that. And so, and I did look up some verses that were important to me when we did that. And one of them being Ecclesiastes 3:1. And it says, "For everything there is a season and a time for every activity under the heavens." I have to hold on to that one a lot. But for and that's a familiar verse probably to a lot of people. And we think about that, and God created the changing seasons, and we talk about it a lot that way. And I have talked about it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't add that other component of, okay, well, we're in a new season and you've changed these things about yourself in this new season, or you're growing towards this. How are you measuring that? How are you taking stock of that? Or how are you, how is it applying to your life in a way that you can hold and see?
Right.
And then another one was one, and it's kind of more about boundaries. But I think a lot of this in creating measuring sticks for how we measure our life and the seasons, then also that comes as we have gotten older with boundaries. And boundaries, I didn't realize until a few years ago, aren't really for the other person. They're just for you.
That's right.
And the same goes with forgiveness, actually. Mm-hmm. We always think about that you have boundaries and that it's for the other person and that you need to tell them and, forgiveness and you need an apology. But those are actually things that are just meant for you. You never have to tell them. Mm-hmm. You can if you want to.
Because you can implement the boundary and they don't even know.
Yeah.
And if you tell them, what is it? What's the word we've been using?
What?
Not gaslighting. What's the new phrase that I
Microaggression.
Microaggression. You don't have to set them up for microaggression.
I'm teaching y'all new things. Well, so this one is Jeremiah 5:22. I've held on to this one for a long time. It's God speaking. "Do you not fear me? This is the Lord's declaration. Do you not trust, or do you?" Let me restart. I had to write this small into the side. "Do you not fear me? This is the Lord's declaration. Do you not tremble before me, the one who set the sand as a boundary of the sea, an enduring barrier that it cannot cross? The waves surge, but they cannot prevail. They roar, but cannot pass over it." And I remember when I first found this verse and I was having to apply some big boundaries in my life. And I wrote in my Bible, if God sets a boundary in your heart, then it will stand and it will protect you. Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't mean that all hell is not going to break loose all around it.
That's true.
And the storm will rage. But if it is something that He has set in your heart and it's a boundary that you need in order to change seasons, in order to measure yourself appropriately, and another way that we measure ourselves is by letting other people's opinion matter more than ours. So sometimes that's what you have to change, is that you have to be true to you. Yeah. But if it's something that the Lord has set in you, it will stand.
It's very true. And there's, going back to the measuring sticks, the two things that kind of stuck out to me is where I fall short with a measuring stick is sometimes I continue moving the bar.
Yeah.
And I never check off a goal. I'm just working towards it. We just
keep moving the bar
and
up.
I keep moving the bar up. So I never reach a point of where I'm satisfied. Mm-hmm. And in reality, every time I've become content and happy with what I've got, mm-hmm. in my experience, that's when blessings come.
Yeah.
Because I've finally learned how to be okay and present with what I've got and not want more.
Yeah.
And that's just me personally. That's probably just
Yeah.
the way God works in my life.
Yeah. He ain't working that way in my life.
No,
But
no.
no, but I get what you're saying. And
And
I get what you're saying in that. And it doesn't mean though that you aren't, it doesn't mean you're stagnant, that you're not growing anymore.
right. And another one that we've talked through, just to kind of cap off on my thoughts on it, is don't compare your life to someone else's measuring stick. And don't
Mm-hmm.
measure your life off of somebody else's successes,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know what they went through
To get there.
to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, did they lose somebody close that left them something as an inheritance,
Yeah.
that they would give it all back just to have that person?
Yeah. Or even sometimes we think, oh, that's something that I want so bad in my life, and you have it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it didn't take much if you peeled back the curtain and you saw how they acquired it. It doesn't mean it was bad, but like maybe it didn't take much, and it would make you lose your luster for it.
Yeah.
Because it might not be of the same value to them. And they're like, oh yeah, I have this.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just picked this up. It was,
Yep.
Whatever. Or somebody gave it to me, or, maybe they didn't have to work for it, but it doesn't mean that it's not something worth working for.
Right.
It's just, it wasn't a big thing for them. And it might be a big thing for you. But then sometimes you're right. Like sometimes you don't want to have to walk the steps that they walked to get it.
You want the stuff, but you don't want to take them steps.
But I've been thinking a lot lately about, when we do that also in the opposite of like, you're like, oh, I want this so bad that, and then when you ask or you try to mimic, and you're like, well, I'm going to do exactly that because I want to, and you're measuring yourself to that, or you're trying to fit yourself onto their measuring stick. It sometimes makes it lose its luster because you're like, oh, well, this doesn't seem like very much. I really had it built up over here. Well, maybe. And maybe it needs to be built up over there because that was yours and that was your journey to get.
Right.
And not acquire it that way.
Yep.
So there's lots of just all kinds of different angles that you can take on this.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also going to say, how are you measuring yourself in the bedroom? Let's move on to the lighter part of this show.
Always, well, I had a joke. I'm going to keep that one back.
No, I think you should say it.
No. Well,
Was it you always add 6 inches?
No, you always measure from the bottom. This isn't a kid-friendly podcast. Episode. Show, whatever.
Trigger warning after the fact.
After the fact.
Measure from the bottom.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Well, no, but for real.
How do I measure myself in the bedroom?
Yeah. I've caught you off guard.
Yep. Everybody that was in art, well, yeah, probably so. Blushing red now. So
you know how I measure myself?
I'm labeled as my label, as I've researched, as I am a pleaser.
Okay.
So I label myself in the bedroom on the actions that you, or maybe not the actions, the faces that you make and the results that I get.
You are going quite differently than I'm.
What's yours?
Yeah, maybe we should start it with me.
You asked. My measuring stick.
I measure off of how, like, you're a type 1 Enneagram. And so you can kind of...
Perfectionist.
I was going to say you kind of be a bit of a perfectionist. And it's not always as easy for you to tap into a playful side. You can, but I can tell when it's fake. But truly be in a playful mood, like in a playful just spirit about yourself. Then is how I measure myself in the bedroom with you, because I feel like that, it makes your life lighter in other things.
I'm also a physical touch love language person
You
too.
you are. And so that's an easy one to measure.
And so it's good for me though as a pleaser, and you're an acts of service. So
Yeah.
look at it. We are just the prime combo.
We can be. We can be. So, yeah, but I think that that's one too that I think in couples I bring that up specifically to say sometimes we have gotten a lot better as the girls have gotten older, and we're not in the season of young kids. And even though now that they're starting to drive and they can go by them, that just brought on a whole different kind of worry.
Yeah, it did.
But it's taken us a smidge, but we had to intentionally drive ourselves back into the lane of Frankie and Corey.
Yep.
And not get lost out in no
Corey
man's.
and Frankie.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said Frankie and Corey.
Whatever. Not lose ourselves in the no man's land of just staying in worry about them because they're still leaving and gone.
Yep.
And sometimes couples get lost out there, and they just stay in we're just staying worried about the kids, even though the kids don't need us in the same ways anymore. They always need you, I am figuring out, but not the same way. And we had people who we value and trust kind of pour that back into us as we are approaching and engaging in this stage of life. And so it looks different than when they were little.
Right.
But it's going good because we are being intentional about that. And so I say that to say, I think sometimes in marriage, you forget that measuring stick and you forget that it's allowed and that it is very necessary to a good to a good marriage. Yep. That is a component that you need. And a measuring stick can be, are you talking about sex? Are you having sex? But, and just physical touch. Like, are you having intimate moments? They don't have to be all sex.
That's right.
But that's just a component that it looked different when they were younger. And then it could be very different now that they're, and it's taking very intentional components for us to make sure we didn't lose that measuring stick and recreating it new and being like, we have been together now long enough that it's in a very trusted place of where you can talk about stuff and, you can explore all parts of that with a trusted partner.
Boundaries. Have a safe word.
Yeah.
And I say a safe word. Because y'all are all thinking like sex. We have safe words that have nothing to do with sex.
Oh, yeah.
We have safe words that when we are somewhere and I need you to not keep talking about that.
Yeah.
Or I have words that I answer with people because I know how they talk and they don't need to talk like that in front of my kids while we're going down the road in CarPlay. So me and Jesse used to have the word hippopotamus. If I answer hippopotamus, the kids and my family are in the car. So don't call somebody what you really want to call them.
Yeah.
But safe words are a thing.
Safe words for more than just
But sex, what's funny though is once you get to that point, and it's only taken us 19 years to get to this point because this has been something in the last 3 months. I am a physical touch person. You are an acts of service person.
These headphones are driving me crazy, by the way.
Well, we can go no headphones. But I have gotten to a place through communication that when I need physical touch, I've gotten to where I can scratch Frankie's back while she's trying to go to sleep because I am a snorer sometimes. And she can't sleep. So if I can get her to sleep first, then I can sleep peacefully and not wake up with a pillow over my face or her fingers pinching my nose. So that I wake up and snore. And so it's a both hand.
You have
It's like sometimes like
finally
I scratch her back. I'm like, hey, FYI, this is not for you.
this is
This is for me.
this is for me. He's
I'm
self-soothing.
self-soothing by scratching your back.
Yeah.
But it's a benefit for both.
But that sounds crazy to say that it took us so long to get to that place.
It's so simple.
It's so simple, but it truly did. Because, I'm like, oh, you're scratching my back. Like, not that it doesn't feel good, but does that mean that am I about to have to perform? I'm so tired. But, or maybe you didn't really even want that, but or I felt obligated to have to do something back because I'm like,
it's
oh,
like
he's being really
I
sweet.
turned
And
the
he's
back
doing that.
massage into 2 kids in a house payment. I'm pretty amazing.
So, but it is so simple, but you've gotten to it and you're like, no, I just really want to like touch and rub you. And it's really not for you. It's for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Because
So,
Frankie doesn't like being like randomly rubbed on her hand while we're sitting in church, just
No.
like to move my fingers back or forth.
mm-hmm,
That's soothing to me.
mm-hmm,
And so sometimes she's like, I just can't do it today. And sometimes she'll just pat me and be like, okay, but
mm-hmm.
that's enough.
I can give the pat. They know the pat.
Yep. That's a safe word.
Yeah, the pat. So, but yeah, but those are simple things, but those were things that were not on our measuring stick before. I guess we're giving glimpses into what are on ours. I'm trying I'm trying to shoot a shotgun on this.
Yeah, broad net.
Broad net. But my biggest thing that I just felt like was so important to share that we have gotten to, and I don't feel like it's something that I have really heard anything about. As much as I listen to stuff and intake it, I don't think it's really anything I've heard about. I have in little components in different ways, but just in the broad sentence of like, have you taken stock of how you take stock of your life?
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard that statement. And I feel like it's really important.
And what's the Harvard study? 100% of people have goals, 95% of them don't write them down.
Mm-hmm.
And the 5% that actually write their goals down actually achieve their goals.
Yeah. And so just take a moment, have the conversation in the car. Cars are a great time to have talks. Have it at dinner. You don't have to go on a date. I mean, you can, but most of the time the hard conversations for us happen in the car on the way to the date.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to the date, you can have fun, do all that stuff. Maybe.
Sometimes you're just mad the rest of the day. We have had those dates.
We have had those, but yeah. But anyways, good places to start for if you, your partner, or talk about them with a friend. Like talk about them with a guy friend or a girlfriend. And then, kind of, if it's awkward to start with your spouse, it shouldn't be, but just in case. Or maybe you're not married yet. That you can have these conversations with whoever.
Yep.
Have it with God. But then, you could also counseling and therapy. Phenomenal places to start that conversation and have that talk and just have a recheck.
Right.
It is amazing to me. It's amazing in that it's not a good or a bad amazing. It's just that how many people, I think we just get so caught up with living life that you don't look at how you're living life. And I have been in that category as well. Or it's like, I just can't stay turned on to that. And it's like I'll have small snippets but once I have fully come to the place, and a lot of it was come from therapy, of where now I'm living in a place of all the time we're having these conversations and we're talking about this stuff and we're checking and we're looking at, well, this is a thought or a opinion or a, that I've had for a long time, but like, let me just make sure that it's still measuring up right.
Yeah.
And that I don't need to adjust this somehow.
And it doesn't have to be, I thought it used to have to be a huge, big conversation. It can be something very small, because we've tried the whole, like you see it, maybe it's just in our algorithms, but I walk in and my spouse has only got 10%, so I'm giving the 90. Bull crap. Sometimes I walk in and Frankie's like, I got 5%. I was like, I got 6. So
Okay,
today,
cheeses you're going to need.
today we're going to make it on 11. Jesus.
We need 89.
Yeah, you got 89% we can borrow.
Which he always does.
Yep, he always does.
Now, sometimes we ask him after the fact, and he's like, "Where were y'all?
Yep.
I could have covered you with 100."
Yep. And that's them days them girls stay in the bedroom with the shut door.
Yeah, but it's true.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't take a lot. I mean, they can turn into big conversations. They can turn into deep. They're not always that way. They don't have to be.
They don't have to be. You can just start them. The hardest part is starting.
Mm-hmm.
That was the hardest part of starting this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Starting. So
what went well?
Oh yeah, let's land this plane. What went well? Corey's giving the pat. What has went well today? Oh,
it doesn't have to be today. It can be this week.
Well, this week. Well, mine is going today.
Okay.
I fixed a killer because this is a Sunday. Sunday lunch today. I have been
the redemption.
I was like, this was my redemption dinner because we have been really busy, and I've had a lot of things going on currently in my life, actually a lot. And I've just been off my cooking game. Like I just have been. I'm a little out of balance.
The season has been on point. It's just the finished temperature.
But it's like, I've overcooked some things that like normally, I'm not messing up. I'm usually but it has just been off. And so, but today I kicked it out of the park with all of it. And so that went really well for me. Yep. That went well. What went well for you?
Well, it was an experience I had. So I had to go to Maryland this week.
Okay.
And with work. And when I was coming back home, the flight back to Nashville, I got to be a part of.
Oh yeah, we shared this on our Instagram.
I got to be a part of a soldier from World War II who had been found, and doing DNA testing, found out who he was, and they're sending him to Nebraska to do final analysis and reunite him with his family. And so
that was really cool.
Yeah.
And you said they shot the water cannons.
Yeah, when we were going out to the runway on the tarmac.
Because was he on your flight?
Mm-hmm, he was on our flight.
Okay.
And so they brought a military officer, who was a full bird colonel, onto the plane, and that was the person that was escorting him. Mm-hmm. And so he rode in the front seat. And when we taxied out to the runway, the water cannons, if you had never seen it, look it up. A lot of times they do it for a pilot's retirement flight or any way to honor that flight in some way. But they brought water cannons and shot it over the plane, so you kind of go through an arch as you're flying or taking off to the runway. So it was a really neat experience.
Mm-hmm. That was cool. And that military is near and dear to you.
Yep.
So
still no one left behind.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know they were doing that. Actually, it makes sense that they are, but they're also doing it in Vietnam as well. So when they're going through, and maybe sadly to say, maybe it's when they're doing construction project and they find some of those sites where soldiers were buried that maybe they were forgotten about. Then they're doing very precise DNA testing and figuring out and returning soldiers back wherever they came from. So.
That is cool. It's
respectful.
I think that it's very respectful, and it's very, I would think, fulfilling to those people who, if you work in the military, I would think, or especially maybe in like crime scene DNA type stuff, I would think that sometimes can be kind of sad, and you're seeing the underbelly, which is not always good.
Right.
But in that aspect, which it was war, which that's, sad and hard, but that is they're able to shed some light and some joy,
right?
In a way, so I think that would be probably fulfilling work for them. Yeah, a lot of closure for that. So, well, I'm going to end with this quote that
we are not professionals.
It's not. Yeah, we are not professionals. No, I saw this whenever I was writing our stuff out, and I just was like, you know what, this is applies to all this and the measuring stick. And it said, the devil will never admit it, but the reason he wants you to give up is because he believes every single word that God has spoken about you. So he believes it.
Yep.
We're the ones that doubt it.
Yep.
We're the ones that get caught up. We're the ones that can totally change our measuring stick. We can totally adapt. We can be intentional. We can have self-reflection. We can talk about it with God. We can talk about it with Jesus. We do. But we're the ones who doubt and don't believe.
Yep.
And it was like, that was a good reminder that it was like, oh no, Satan believes every single word that God is calling you to.
Just you don't.
Those still small things. Like he believed, we felt for a long time that God was calling us to, like, y'all should share, do a podcast, do this, do that. And we were like, no, I don't know. But he believed it as soon as it hit our hearts from the Holy Spirit. He knew and believed that it would be good and would reach somebody and it's going to help somebody. And I just think
it's going to make them laugh.
I just thought that was really, I was like, that's good. He knows that the measuring sticks can change. He just wants us to believe that it's a one size fits all.
And it's funny that you had that quote, because I heard a very similar quote this week. It's like, the devil don't chase lost people because he's already got them.
Yeah.
So if you're battling something, maybe it's because you got something on the other side.
Yeah. God's got big stuff.
Yep.
So anyways, happy day. I don't know what day this will come out. I don't even hardly know what day it is. Thank you. Happy day.
Tell them, Zoe. Barking in the background.
Oh, happy day. Is that on Secretariat? Like when he sings the song at the end. We're running this horse in for Derby Day. Anyways, happy day, happy afternoon, happy all the things. Thank you for joining us. And we can't wait to do some more. We've got all kinds of stuff that the devil done already been believing.
Yep.
That's coming to you. But check us out on Instagram. That's where we share daily stories, bunnies.
Well, not daily, but we do.
Not daily, but we try to. We're trying to do better. We're trying to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we're on Oakley House Design.
Oakley House Design, Facebook,
Corey and
Instagram.
Frankie Oakley.
Yeah, Corey
Facebook.
and Frankie Oakley, Facebook.
You can find this if you don't want to listen. You can watch us on YouTube.
Watch us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, that podcast app, all the places, all the things. Again, we are not professionals. This is for entertainment purposes only.
We are not professionals. This podcast is up and even for life purposes, and this is for entertainment purposes only.
And but we do hope that it. I also saw a thing that said, your email did not find me well. Like people always say, like, I hope this finds you well. So we hope that this podcast, we hope it finds you in a suck place. And then
No, we don't.
And then we hope that you listen to this and you feel so uplifted you can run through a brick wall when you're done.
Or we just said this, or I just said this when we sit down. Maybe it don't find you in a suck place. I hope that you can relate potentially. It's like, hey,
Yes.
I'm not the only one
Yes.
going through the suck
Yes.
sometimes.
Or hey, Frankie said that was okay to feel that way. So
Frankie said that's coming on a T-shirt.
Frankie said,
I know a guy that probably would help you.
help me do
win
it.
that phrase.
Yep. So anyways, have a great day and we'll see you next time. Bye.